Hello, and welcome back to the Dungeons & Dragons Podcast UK. My name is Yasmin, and I will be the DM.
Hi, my name's Samantha. I play Elora Greyvale, a sorcerer from Nephalia.
Hello, I'm Colin Robinson, and I play Cuin de Greymont, a paladin from Gavany.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I play Ogvar, a ranger from Kessig.
After our companions' individual illusions had dissipated, a lush loot haul unexpectedly revealed itself, leaving all somewhat stunned. After appraisals had been made, Cuin, Ogvar and Elora shared the spoils. The three then coasted back out of the catacombs the way they had come, to find that some new friendly faces had arrived at the church. Episode 16. Hello Havasack, goodbye garments.
Hello. Hi there.
What? Hello?
Well, hi, who are you?
Well, you must be the young'uns Blessed Esther was talking about.
Well, yes, we are. My name's Elora, and this is Ogvar, and this is Cuin.
Oh, yes.
Good day.
Have you seen...
Good day. Blessings of Havasack on you.
And to you, my friend.
Lovely seeing you lot. Esther mentioned that she'd been down. Oh, where are my manners? I'm Robert.
Robert, well, it's nice to meet you, Robert.
I've come with Florent. You see, Esther's grandson.
Oh, her grandson has arrived.
Yes, we got delayed. It's like we rode through the storm, but we got delayed. We should have been here sooner, but we had to go past you now.
Right. Okay. Oh, well, she's got you to work quick.
Yes, always the taskmaster she is.
So...
That makes lovely cocoa, though.
Yes, she does. I can vouch for that. She extended her hospitality and she's been very kind to us. You say Florence come with you? Is that where is Esther upstairs? Is that where they are?
No. They went outside. I don't know where. Where's Callie gone? Callie was with us. She's a cleric. She was doing something over there somewhere, but she may have wandered out there as well.
So there were three of you that arrived then?
Yes, three of us.
Okay. Well, we'll just go on out and see if we can find Esther, I think, because... God, do you know anything about the history of this church?
Not really, to be honest. I'm usually up in Thraben, but I've just taken assignment to come down here and relieve Esther with Florent. I've known him for a couple of years now, and good mates, and got to stay together.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. That's nice. Well, yeah, I'll leave you to. Do you need any help? One of the boys would help you if you need some help. I'm sure, she says, looking at Cuin and Ogvar.
Oh, I should be fine, he says, and he wanders off and grabs the pew, and he literally just straight over the entire pew just by himself. He goes, I'm pretty strong.
Yeah,
I'm going to frown and go, ooh.
That's quite impressive. Yes. A bit of pew tossing.
Yeah, Ogvar's just going to look down at his toe and remember.
Yes.
And think, oh, yes, you seem to have that well in hand.
Got to work out, keep the muscles going.
Yeah, Ogvar's just going to look down and sort of grab his podge and shuffle off.
Right, I'm going to smile and say, will you just excuse us, Robert? I'm sure we'll speak again. I need to go and catch up with Esther, if that's all right.
Of course, yes, of course.
Right, well, I'll just take my leave for now, and anyway, I'm going to march on and just sort of crook my finger and get them to follow.
As you march on, he goes, oh, if you do find Callie, she'll patch you up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, we took a bit of damage, I suppose.
All in the name of justice, my good friend.
Oh, justice. Too true. What?
I think you'll find... I think you'll find that there's a bit of clearing up to do in the catacombs, I'm afraid. Things got a bit out of hand there, and yeah, you might need, I mean, it looks like somebody's patched the doors up a bit. I don't know if that was you, but you might want to just go and have a look and just tidy up anything that's a bit messy.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll get on that.
Fantastic.
Must keep the place of worship clean.
Oh, it's...
And then he starts. He just starts picking up the end of the one pew, and he starts doing some overhead
bench pressing with it.
Bench pressing the pew. He goes,
bench pressing the pew. Brilliant. Okay. Right. I'm going to now just kind of briefly give my head half a shake and a bit of a frown, and I'm going to now walk out towards the open doors and see if I can go outside and find
All
Esther.
you hear in the background is him going, rah, rah. He's bench pressing this pew.
He's really quite strange, really, but
He's quite
I don't know.
enthusiastic.
I seem to be quite attached.
Yes, I'd say he reminds me of someone, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Oh, who knew? I'm going to carry on walking, going to go outside.
Okay, so you
Can
go
I see
outside,
Esther?
and it's quite a nice day. It's a fair day. This storm's properly blown over now. It's no trace of it of having ever been there. The Nebelgast is just gone. But there's a stiff breeze whipping off the sea, and you can smell the salt. You can hear the cries of gulls over the sea and the lapping of the waves.
I instantly relax. It's making me feel a little bit more at home.
It's this. You just have this beautiful kind of seaside vista almost, and you've got this big plateau behind you with the upper level on it. But as you look out, you can properly see the city spread out in front of you, and you can see the industrial district with billowing grey fog, like smog and smoke coming out of it. And you can hear the ring of swords on steel, and you can see the guards trading. You can see people like looking like tiny little toys just kind of wandering around the streets, and you can hear vendors.
So this is distant sounds drifting up to us.
Yeah, you can hear the sounds of, you can even hear sounds of them down at the market just whipping through this stiff sea breeze going, fish for one!
Cool.
It's a lively, busty, yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm going to look around. I'll take in the scenery and draw in the smells and the air, and suddenly realise that I found it very oppressive down in the catacombs compared to that. Didn't really notice at the time I was down there, but now stepping back out, I noticed that was very much the case. Can I see Esther anywhere?
Make me a spot check.
That's a 13. No, it's not. I'm sorry, it's a 12.
Okay, so with a 12, you don't spot Esther, but you do spot a quite tall woman hurrying up the hill, just up the top of the hill towards the entrance of the church. And as she comes closer, you can see that she is wearing the symbol of Avacyn on her clothes. She's not wearing robes like Robert was, but she does have some light armour on, which is inscribed. You can see like it's almost like carved into the armour, the leather of the armour, the symbol of Avacyn.
Okay, so is she in a rush, or...?
No, she's just walking up the hill. She's got a basket crooked over in the corner of her elbow with some food in there.
Okay. So just going to wait for her to get a bit closer to the church and just stick my hand up and... good morning.
Morning!
Do you by any chance know Esther? We were told that she was out here. Sorry, my name's Cuin. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Callie.
Oh, Callie
it's a
the
pleasure
cleric.
to meet you. You must have been the ones helping Esther out down the catacombs.
Yes. Bit of fun.
Yes.
It was a little bit overcrowded down there, I'll have to say. Wasn't quite expecting that.
No, well, you do hope that the dead stay dead.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
Yes, well...
They're definitely dead now.
Can you kill something twice, really, though?
Well, I've had a go.
Yes, well, some of them were in bits and pieces.
Oh, God, not that again.
Oh, dear, I can see that you're quite similar to Robert.
Yeah, perhaps
Not to worry, though, we all have characters.
I guess it goes with the territory, yeah.
She laughs at that, and she says, well, I'll go make breakfast, or lunch rather at this time. I'm sure you're hungry. And she kind of takes a look at you and she looks at the state and she goes, "Oh, you're a bit battered up, aren't you? Let's right, if you want to just take a seat down over here, I'll give you a bit of patching up."
How old is she? What does she look like?
She's quite dark-skinned. She's got black hair tied up in a kind of severe bun around the bottom of her skull. And she's not much taller than you, Elora, but she seems quite down to business. She's got her fair share of scars over her hands and her kind of neck area where she's maybe had a close brush, but she's, she carries a couple of daggers by her side, but she doesn't really have much weaponry on her at the moment per se. Okay, so she is going...
Did she say she got light armour on?
Yeah, she's got light
underneath
armour.
her robes.
She isn't wearing any robes.
Oh, isn't she?
No.
Right, okay. Right, so on looking around, can I see Esther anywhere?
Hang on, she's still doing
sorry.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
So she guides you over to a small stone bench which is outside of the church, and she makes you sit down, and she starts with Elora. She casts Cure Moderate Wounds, so that's going to be... She heals you up for 16 points of damage. And you can, both of you, when you look at Elora, you can see the kind of wounds knitting themselves back together, and there's still like a bit of dried, crusted blood and whatnot, and a bit of dirt there, but the wounds themselves, you see them heal back together, and they go pink, and then they scar over, and then just disappear straight away.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
Oh, yes, I'll have one of those as well.
She laughs, and she casts it on you next, and you get 19 points back.
That takes me back to full, yeah.
Yep. And then she moves on to you, last of all, Cuin. And she looks at the state of you and your injuries, and she goes, "Oh, paladin, I see." And you get 20 points of health back.
Nice.
And she stands up because she's been kind of half crouched down to kind of reach that kind of level where she's crouching in front of your face, kind of just casting magic on you. She stands up, she brushes her knees off. She picks up her basket, which she's just dropped down by her feet. She goes, "Well, okay, I'm off to make lunch then."
Oh,
Thank you for that, Kelly. It was much appreciated.
Kelly?
Kelly.
that was very good of you. Thank you. And a spot of lunch. Oh, you're very nice, aren't you? Yes. Well,
Cuin, I never did ask you. Are you single?
She gives a pained smile, kind of nods her head at you, and walks off very quickly.
She's literally being hit on by a paladin.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to lean over to Cuin and say, Cuin, I'm not quite sure the offer of lunch was for us.
Hey.
Okay.
Well, you never ask, you never know, do you?
You don't ask, you don't get. Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant.
No, very, very true.
God.
What would you like to do?
Can
we go find Esther, please?
Yes. Yes, finding Esther would be favourable. Oh,
Esther!
No.
Where are you, Esther?
I'll follow Kelly.
You saying that, you just hear a hello? Hello? It's coming from your right round to the side of the church.
Okay.
I'm going to motion with my thumb. Let's go right now.
Yes, let's go. I heard something around there, didn't you? Let's go and have a look, yes?
I'm just going to look at Ogvar and go, really?
Okay, lead the charge, Cuin.
As you go to leave, you just hear, "Robert, what are you doing? Put that pew down for Avasin's sake! God, man! Have you no self-preservation?" Just from inside the church, you just hear him go, "Rah!"
Elora puts her hand to her head, rubs her temples backwards and forwards, kind of wondering whether she's actually developing a headache or what at this stage.
Okay.
It's great to see people putting in their training whenever they can.
After he said that, you hear a rough spat and you go, "Don't throw eggs at me, woman! Wench!" And you can hear him start bickering inside the church.
I think we better get a clip on, don't you?
You think?
Yes.
Right.
Right, we'll go around the corner.
Okay, so as you go around the corner, you're greeted by the view of where the church is orientated. It is quite close to the edge of this plateau, and you can see that over the years, some heavy stone railing has been put along the edge, obviously, so people don't go falling off the edge. And in that area, there is some very well cultivated, even though it's rocky ground, you can tell that it's been worked and there's been soil put in. There's been a lot of time and effort being put in here to turn it into a small garden. And, there's rough kind of sea grasses, like type you see on cliffs, spiky grass with rough stems. And there's some wildflowers, and there's a small vegetable patch in kind of raised beds and boxes, which have obviously been gardened and covered over to stop the rain getting to them and drenching the crop entirely. And as you go around there, you can see Esther, and she's clutching tightly onto the arm of a tall young gentleman. And she sees you coming around the corner. She goes, "Oh, hello, dears. Hello. How's it been? Sorry I wasn't there."
Hi, Esther. Yeah, things just... Well, when you sent us downstairs, things didn't quite go according to plan. I know you said that there's unlikely to be anything down there, but, well, there was. That's why we've been gone for however long we've been gone for.
Oh dear. She rushes up to you and she starts patting on your cheeks looking for any injuries. And
No,
she does,
it's fine.
She does that grandma thing where she takes hanky out, licks it and starts scrubbing on the side of your nose.
I'm just going to screw my face up a bit and go, well, that's all very kind, but it's okay. Kelly's taking care of that for us.
She pats you and she goes, "Oh yes, wonderful girl."
Yes, she was very, very kind.
She goes, "Can you believe it? My grandson turned, Florent, come over here, Florent." And you hear him laugh, and he comes ambling over. So Florent kind of wanders up, he walks behind his grandmother, and he comes over to greet you. And looking at him, he is taller than Esther. He's a bit taller than Esther. He's probably hanging around maybe 5'10". He's got a slender and lithe build. He's garbed in silver and gold light armour, and there are white robes which curve from their fastenings at his chest, draping artistically under his pauldrons, and they meet back up kind of... You can see where they curve around his shoulder, they curve back up in between his shoulder blades, where they meet a large grey mantle, which rests over his kind of like neckline. Over this ensemble, he wears a dense grey woolen overcloak, and you can see that at his side hang a pair of 2 finely crafted rapiers.
I'm gonna meet his gaze. Comes up. "Hello, I'm Ogvar. I'm pleased to meet you. Esther has told us quite a lot about you already. She's very, speaks very fondly of you."
"Yes, it is a pleasure to meet you. I'm so very grateful to you for taking care of my grandmother. I'm sure I must have worried her. We were supposed to be here earlier, but we were delayed, and then we were forced to ride through the storm the other night, and it was less than pleasant. Bless Callie and Robert for travelling with me. We had some other business to attend to on our journey, but I thank you for resolving the issues here. It has been a great help and a great comfort to my grandmother."
Not at all.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. What Ogvar said, really. Your grandmother's been... She extended us shelter when we needed it, and food, and it was really appreciated, so helping her out was really no issue, although I was a little surprised that we kind of met the resistance that we did. Wasn't quite expecting that.
He nods at you, and you can see Esther. She's kind of nodding along furiously, and she's giving loving glances to her grandson and patting on his arm and generally clutching him close.
"So you've come to take over from your grandmother, have you?"
"Yes, I have. It is my duty now to take over this church," he said. He says, "I'm quite glad that I am here. It's coming home after a long journey." And he leans down and he gives his grandmother a kiss on the cheek, and she goes, "Oh, bless you."
I'm just going to smile, and I'm going to think to myself, Elora's going to think internally, yeah, my questions need to wait just a little while.
Yeah. So he can then engage. He engages in some idle chit chat. He asks how you are, and after a little bit of idle chit chat, he turns to us and he goes, "Grandma, I believe that if I'm correct in looking through that window, I think Robert and Callie might be causing trouble again. Would you mind ever so greatly?" She goes, "Oh yes, of course, off I go," and she scurries off into the church to supposedly sort out Robert and Callie.
I'm going to look at Esther and smile, kind of put my head on one side and smile and just say, "Well, I think Kelly was off to sort out lunch, but I think the omelettes might have started early."
She laughs and she goes, "Oh well, it's a good thing I've got a good supply of eggs then, isn't it?"
Oh, I'd say.
And off she goes, and you're just left, the three of you, stood outside with Florent.
Well, those look like a couple of nice rapiers there. Had them long? So I noticed you well-crafted rapiers.
Yes, I have. Thank you for noticing. They were a gift from my grandmother. She does take pride in collecting fine weapons. It's her. I'm sure she must have regaled you with tales of when she was a midnight duelist. They were my favourite stories while growing up as a child.
Oh yes, we've heard all about that, and she talks with in such fondness. Very, very, very entertaining stories.
Yes, she has been an exceedingly strong woman throughout her life, and she has been tied down to this church for most of it, and I know that myself, I was a burden upon her for most of my childhood. My parents died when I was young, and she had to take care of me. I'm sure she doesn't regret that, but I would have liked for her to be able to see the world and travel around the world. It was always her dream.
What do you think she will do with her days now? Now you have come to look after the church in her stead.
Well, I think unless she is given a push, she will probably remain here tending to her garden.
Do you know much about the church's history? If you were here, has she always been here? Did she say she'd always been here?
Oh, Esther, yeah. She
did. So she told us that, didn't she?
My grandmother would know more of the history of this church in particular. I have been training. I've been taken to Thraben for my training, so I haven't been here for many moons. So I've returned now that I have been taught in the ways of looking after my church. So I have returned to take up my post here now. But about this church, I was only a child. I didn't really pay much interest to that when I was younger, but I suppose I shall learn more about it now.
I would imagine that you and Cuin kind of perhaps know the same people in that case if you were in Thraben.
Yes, I expect we should. Yes, probably. At this point, he starts rattling off a list of names, which, people he's obviously known and met. And
Yes, I know a few of them.
yes, well, he says Thraben is a big city, isn't it?
Yes, there are several different areas, and you've got the main church, and you've got the training areas, and
Yes, well,
yes, yes, my Marquez was, I know him very well. Yes, in fact, we're on a little bit of a quest for him.
oh, are you? It's quite a claim to know the Luanarch himself.
Yes.
I do not doubt you. I'm just surprised.
Yeah, one gets known.
Yes.
Right, well, that's great, boys. I'm glad that you're enjoying bonding.
Yes, back to the main subject. I didn't just ask my grandmother to go and supervise Robert and Callie for no reason. I wish to give you a thank you gift. To say thank you for everything you've done for my grandmother.
Well, there's no real need for that, She's done plenty for us in the last 24 hours, She's given us shelter when we needed it, and...
Yes, but I do feel the need to give you a gift. From what has been... I did venture down into the second layer of the catacombs. Well, I took a quick trip down there, and I have to admit that was quite the worrisome thing to see. So I must thank you for protecting my grandmother. I know she can hold her own, but she is not young anymore. So please let me give you this gift.
Oh, I must have missed that. When did you go down there then? Because we've not long come out. We did go around the corner and sit on a bench with Callie. Have you been down there?
No, you must have still been down on the bottom floor.
Oh, you didn't come all the way down then. That's why we didn't see. You did go into the first floor down, did you?
Yes, I went down to the second floor. I didn't go any further because I didn't wish to. I needed to report back up to Callie and Robert just to make sure.
Oh, okay, fine.
Besides, had you managed to deal with something of that size, I don't think there would have been anything else down there that could have possibly harmed you.
Yeah. Yes, it was a bit frolicsome, shall we say?
Yes, and he hands over a bag. And he gives this bag over to you, Elora. He goes, this has been in my family for
quite a while. It's a bit finicky. That's all I will say. But now I must also ask you another boon, so to say, and I do not wish for my grandmother to live a quiet life here, tending to her garden every day. That is not what I wish for her. I would ask that if you were able to, would you take her with you, so she can experience the world? Would you be willing to do that?
Well, you'll sort of look at each other.
Yeah, I think we look at each other, and I'll just say, well, I think more's the question is whether she really wants to. You know, she's got quite a nice life here. It might be a little bit insular, but you know, there is the town, and she's a bit safer here. Although I think she can probably handle herself okay. I think we've got a bit of a task at hand, and we're not exactly sightseeing, and we don't know where it's going to take us, and we're likely to run into all kinds of dangers. You know, the question is, does she really want to go back into that kind of life where, you know, we've run into quite a few problems so far. It's not exactly been plain sailing, and I doubt that it's going to get much better. I mean, these are dangerous times we live in, and the more you travel, the more you see, the more trouble you run into, or seemingly anyway.
Yes, I understand. I shall have to have a word with her myself, but I'm sure that she would love to see the world outside of Junau.
Well, I'm sure she's a very talented swordswoman. She's probably got a whole skill set that might come in handy for what, you know, for where we're going and what we're doing. But, you know, I mean, you can't force someone into doing something like that, can you?
No, of course not.
No, I mean...
We'll have a chat about it.
Yes, of course. I believe lunch should be ready soon, so...
Yes, I mean, she would be, I suppose, welcome. I mean, you know, but I think if she decides, you know, after the talk, I'm fine with her joining. She's got a bit of extra knowledge that we haven't, and
I would imagine her skill set is
seems
highly
quite
suitable for where we may have to go and what we may have to do.
I agree.
You know,
More than handy in a
we're still
tight
only
spot.
3 of us, aren't we? So
yes, I mean, hopefully she'd be with us if we encounter anything like that again.
yeah, well, an extra pair of hands would never hurt, would it?
Yeah, yes. Okay, so
At that point, we're just going to kind of tail off that conversation, I think, and just go off. Well, I'm certainly going to go off into a little bit of private thought.
Yeah. So he says, yes, I'm sorry for springing this upon you so suddenly. But I only wish the best for my grandmother. I want you to understand that.
Well, I think that's clear. I think we can see that.
He goes, if you would follow me, I believe lunch should be ready soon. And he starts going back towards the entrance of the church.
okay,
That'd be appreciated. Thank you very much.
we're going to have a look at what this bag is.
Yeah. It's never polite to open a gift when somebody stood there, is it? So at this point, I'm going to...
As he rounds the corner, he goes, I'll leave you to discuss amongst yourselves.
We'll be up in a minute, Florent. Thank you very much for your hospitality once again.
He nods his head and he walks around the corner.
Right, so I'm now going to look at the bag in my hand. What is this bag? What does it look like to start with?
So what are you doing with this bag? You've obviously taken it into your arms. What are you doing?
I want to have a look.
Physically, what are you doing?
Physically, what am I doing? Well, I'm holding it in my hand, but I'm just looking at it first of all to I suppose, not appraise it as such, but to look at the item. How does it present? I mean, what sort of bag is it? What colour is it?
You hear a voice. Oi! What are you looking at?
So
I'm going to take a moment and I'm
Ogvar
going to...
looks around.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Corky. What are you looking at?
Where's that coming from?
I'm just...
Here, you big dolt.
Right.
I can hear something.
Who are you? And who are you talking to?
You, Corky.
You talking to me. Do I automatically assume it's the bag, or am I still...
I don't know,
looking-
that's your...
Okay, I'm looking around.
Who's talking? I mean,
I am
very rude.
Right, everybody just quiet for a minute. I'm going to lift this bag up in front of my face and go, narrow my eyes. So, where are you? And I'm going to look left and right while this bag's hanging in front of my face. Where are you?
You blind?
Ah,
I'm here.
It is you. I'm going to look at the other two and with my free hand, I'm going to point to this bag. Who are you then?
I'm Orland. Who are you?
Why do you want to know?
Well, considering you're grabbing me hair, then yeah, I want to know.
Well, if I knew you were a you, I wouldn't be grabbing your hair. Where would you like me to grab you? And keep it clean, please.
Recovered.
Well, I'm a bag, and I hold me like a normal person.
Well, I was holding the handle.
Yeah, not the handle. I've got straps.
Right, hold it by the straps.
That's better. Show a bit of respect, why don't you?
Well,
This is not helping. Right, explain yourself. Who are you? You're Orland, but you're a bag.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. You going to expand on that?
Well, I am what I am. I'm a bag.
yeah, right. So,
I thought he said this was a gift.
so
It's a rude gift.
we've been given a bag that talks back. That's really
Yeah, well,
handy.
you say that now, but, it's a magical item.
I'm not in it. I am right here.
Yeah, I'm talking about you, not to you.
Well, that's just rude, isn't it?
No more than when you started out. Well, I suppose we'd better make introductions, seeing as you obviously are sentient. So, Ogvar, this is Orland.
Hello.
Orland, this is Ogvar.
I'm Ogvar.
Cuin, this is Orland. Orland,
Hello,
this is
yeah.
Cuin.
Hello. Yes.
If you're travelling
hello.
with me, you're travelling with them.
Well, I've got no choice who I travel with. I don't have legs, do I?
No, but you've got a mouth, haven't you?
That I do.
And
Okay, so...
what exactly are you then?
Oh, I was created a long time ago as I'm what they call Heward's handy Havasack.
A what?
Heward's handy Havasack. But basically, what happened is some absolute idiot decided to try and do a bit of magical experimentation on me. And now I talk. And as you may understand, I didn't ask to be created. I'm not exactly happy with that.
Well, I think that's possibly evident. But having a go at me isn't the best way to start a relationship.
Only that we didn't do it. I mean, you're.
Well, no, you ain't got the
you're
brains for it, have you?
Oh.
Did he just say? Have you got any of that? I don't know. What oil to set things alight? You love fire, don't you?
Elora's just going to laugh.
Roll me an intimidation check.
18.
Oh, God, no, not fire. No, anything but fire. No, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Right, I'm going to examine this bag more closely. Does it actually have a mouth? Does it have a visible mouth or eyes or anything like that?
No, it doesn't have anything visible. What it looks like a satchel. So you've got two end loops and a strap over the top, and it's got a handle, it's got a bag flap, and you've got a couple of pockets on the front, which obviously is secured by the flip over top. It looks a bit worn, it looks battered, it looks a bit grimy. It's obviously been around for quite a while. It's got the attitude to match that. But there doesn't seem to be any kind of visible eyes or mouth or anything. It is just a disembodied voice.
Right, if you show me a little respect, I'll show you a little in return. Respect is earned, not given. I'd like to look in the pockets of your bag. Is that all right with you?
Well, it's much better than him, isn't it? Throwing me around, putting muddy boots in me. Oh,
Well,
God.
do you even speak to him?
No, he's fluffy, look at him.
So you've not actually even spoken to him? How long have you been with him?
Oh, a couple of years.
And you've never spoken to him?
It did seem like worth the effort, to be honest.
Oh my God. Right. I'm going to set this down. Where the, is there somewhere I can set it down, side of a balustrade or something?
Yeah, there's plenty of places.
Right,
a couple
I'm
of
going
raised
to
beds.
carefully put this bag down for fear of hurting its feelings any further. I'm going to open up the little pockets on the side. Can I search through all the pockets on the bag?
Yeah, sure.
Is there anything in the pockets?
You find a couple...
Muddy boots.
Yeah, you find a pair of muddy boots.
This present's not getting much better, is it?
You find a pair of muddy boots, a pair of dirty underwear, and
Oh, I'm going to pick up the
Oh,
trolleys
I think I have a potion for this. To get rid of the smell.
And you hear the bags, you go, ugh, disgusting. If you knew the way he lived, ugh.
Well, I'm kind of getting the picture of that, but then he has been on the road. Give the bloke a break.
And he goes, in my left pocket. Look in my left pocket.
Your left or my left?
My left.
Right, I'll look in the right pocket.
Okay, you open it up and you find 4 bottles. And they look like beer bottles. Small beer bottles, not like big beer bottles. Small beer bottles.
Right.
And in these beer bottles, they've got liquid in them. And on the label, it's a handwritten kind of label which has been stuck on. But there is the kind of name, Cleric's Cure.
I'm going to pick them up and read the labels. Hold it in my hand. And I'm just going to say to Ogvar and Cuin, I'm going to turn it round so they can see the label. I'm going to Cleric's Cure. I'm going to read it out loud. And then I'm going to turn the bottle back and I'll pop it down on the side next to the bag. Is there anything else in the bag that I can find other than the shoes, the dirty chollies, and
No.
and the 4 bottles of Cleric?
Orland goes, that's some nice stuff there. He said, got put in me, it was a while back. I can't remember how long. It was a while back. It was before Esther. Esther was nice. She kept me perfumed.
So you were Esther's before you were Florence?
Yeah. Esther's
How long
lovely.
have you been with the family?
Oh, a long time. It was a long time ago that I was made.
And so the bottles were put in prior to Esther.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But the bloke who put them in, I can't remember what his name was now. It's been too long. There was some nice stuff. He was dabbling in a bit of brewing himself.
Alcoholic or potion?
Bit of both.
Oh, okay. Pardon me, what did you say your name was?
Orland. It's actually quite nice to have a conversation. I haven't had one in years.
Actually, it's quite novel being able to talk to, well, a bag. To be fair.
Yeah. I mean, Esther was all right, but, I only spoke to her as a child. Didn't really speak to her much after that.
When you were a child or when she was a child?
Oh, no, when she was a child. I've always been this way. She dropped me in a muddy puddle. I didn't really appreciate that.
So she's aware that you have a personality?
Maybe, I don't know. It was a long time ago. So I can hold a grudge, I can. But it does get a bit boring after all the years.
Well, I'm not surprised. Right, well, seeing as you are your own person...
Well, I mean, technically I'm a bag, but I'll take that.
Well, I'm talking to you, so therefore you're a person. Because if I'm talking to a bag and not a person, then I'm losing my marbles.
Well, yeah, I mean, you do seem to be sentient, and you...
You see the buckles on the bag just kind of flutter. He goes, you're making me buckles flutter.
Let's say that again!
Baby.
Blooper reel!
He goes, you're making my
Is there someone called Granville in this sketch as well?
Granville!
What? The butcher's bike.
And take 42.
One is making you what?
Stop. Stop. He goes, you're making me buckles flutter.
Oh, right.
Well.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Seeing you never ask a sorcerer to do that.
Well, I'll take my chances.
Well, I might as well ask her. You've been given to me as a gift by Florent, as I'm sure you heard. So, do you want to travel with us, or don't you?
Well, it'd be nice to get some fresh air, I suppose.
Right.
And, as long as you're not going to put your dirty underwear in me.
I don't think...
Or your muddy boots.
No, I don't think that's likely.
Oh, okay. But I'll tell you how I operate then. I am a version of Hero's Handy Havasack. Hero's Handy Havasack is a little bag that you put things into. It's kind of like a bag of holding. But when you want something, it's there waiting for you.
So, you read somebody's mind?
Kind of, yeah. It's something similar.
And how much can you hold exactly? If it's just there, is there a limited amount of storage you have?
Good question, Ogvar.
I can take a lot, I can. I'm a strong bag.
Oh, yes, undoubtedly you look very, very well put together.
Yeah, I mean, would you still...
Excellent buckles.
I take it you still... Would the weight sort of disappear, or... Because obviously...
Here comes the party loot.
Elora Obviously, if we put all the stuff in you, or a certain amount, and Elora tried to pick it up, would she be able to pick it up, or would it still need to be with somebody who's strong, or?
Well, yeah, you see, that's kind of up to me.
Oh, so it's up to you.
If I like you, you'll be fine. You won't feel any weight. But if you're some pissant bandit trying to carry me off with your filthy, grubby, blood-stained hands, you got no chance.
Oh.
I have a bit of a prized possession, but I'm guessing that you wouldn't house him.
What?
Well, I've got a familiar that's hanging on the inside of my cloak right now.
I can't do live animals. Not good with live animals. Plus, I don't really want any animal muck in me. I'm good for that, thanks.
Well, that's fair enough then. Well, at least I asked.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not a bad sort, you're not.
We could try the party loot. See.
Is that everything that's in there?
He goes, hang on a minute. And you hear from inside him a bit of shuffling, a bit of clanking, as the bag kind of wiggles on the balustrade where you've left him. And
Hold on, Jim. Don't want to fall.
You hear a bit of clanking and banging, and he goes, hang on. And he goes, "Bleh," and his top flap opens up. And he spits out a book.
Oh. I like books.
That's all, that should be all.
What's the title of said book?
Title of the book is Dreams of Light. And if you remember correctly,
Yes, I was just coming to that.
that is one of the books on the list.
You can hold on to that one, Elora?
Yeah, I'll hang on to that. I'm going to actually put it back in the bag for now. So, okay, I'm just going to put this back where it came from.
No worries. And then you hear as you lift up the top flap to kind of put it back in, you hear a kind of bleh, bleh. Get out of the way.
All right, I'm going to swing round backwards to the left.
You're still holding the book, and all of a sudden you get this as the top of the bag opens up, and a load of dust and goes poof out of the bag, and it kind of shakes, and he goes, "There we go."
I'm going to waft. Really? Does nobody ever clean you out?
No, I am filthy. It's disgusting the way these people live. Blech.
What is he made out of? Orland.
Leather.
That's leather bag, okay.
He's a leather bag.
So, out of curiosity, I've never met a sentient bag before. So, can you see?
Well, it's not so much seeing as I don't have eyes like you do, but I just know things.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask me how. I don't know.
If you know things, then I have a question for you. Where did you get that book from?
Oh, a long time ago. Long time ago. Someone put him in me. I don't remember it.
Well, you look after it.
It was long before the guy before Esther. And when you look at the book, it is an old book, but
I thought I put it back in.
Oh, no, you
Okay.
didn't, because he was coughing up dust.
Oh, right, sorry, okay, I've still got it then.
You look at the book, and it is a very old-looking book. You can tell that it's a very old way of binding books, but it looks absolutely pristine.
I open it. What's the book about?
Okay, I wasn't prepared for this. I should have been prepared for this. You look inside the book, and the book itself, it's quite heavily, it's a densely packed text. I mean, it's tiny text in tight lines. Like, there's been not much, and it's hand scribed.
Oh, that's all she wants to know for the time being.
Okay.
But it appears to be a collection, when you look at it, it appears to be a collection of children's tales
Oh, okay.
and stories about light and things
Okay,
like that.
well,
It's a mix of things.
Right, well, she's just going to flip through roughly and had a look at, and then she's going to close the book, and then she's going to open Orland and pop the book back in.
Okay.
If you'd look after that for me, thank you.
He goes, yeah, of course. And you see his top flap, where his flap comes over the top of the bag. It's got two leather straps, and you see it kind of do like this little wave thing.
Yeah, Mexican wave.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but he seemed, he's going to be almost like a member of our party too. I don't think we should put the boots and the underwear back in.
Well, I wasn't planning to,
Oh,
Cuin.
yes, that's all right then. And
The bag, you just hear this kind of brrrr from the bag.
I suppose we'd better see if we can put a few bits and pieces in.
What do you want to ask him to carry?
Well, the party.
Do you think we might need to possibly give him a small break from burden?
Okay.
Well, I think we ought to...
Just gonna pick up the pants off the balustrade, so like a ping them off. So like sort of a bit of a final farewell to him. Like,
Roll me a strength check.
how big are the pants?
I want to see how far they go.
Strong's the elastic. You should try one of those priest pants. Try a priest
Could
pants.
use it as a sling.
That's what I meant.
Dirty
Exactly what I
pants.
meant. Load a priest bullet and watch it go.
Oh, that's not going to go. Not going to go very far. That was a 4.
The elastic snaps.
Smacks him back in the face.
So you fire off these. Oh god, okay. You fire off. God.
Oh,
Get together.
by the light of Havasack.
You fire off this pair of underwear, and you get this definite ping as they go flying over the balcony. And you know when you see like kind of elastic, it kind of goes wow as it flies upwards, and then it just drops, and you just hear flapping material as it drops, and then someone underneath going
Well, I think that's the last you'll see of them.
the bag. When you look at the bag, the straps on this bag, they're just doing the Mexican wave. You can just hear him cackling.
That's my good turn for the day, I think.
Elora's still going to just be laughing.
You just, do the boots, do the boots.
I suppose that'll be all right. A bit of welly wagging. 1, 2.
It's not a mace, they're a pair of boots. Sorry.
Have you tied the laces together to do that?
Yes.
Right, roll me a strength check.
What do they call those?
A bowler.
Bowler.
A bowler, is that what it is?
7, 9.
Yeah, you lob these wellies, and then they go wellies, these boots, and you wait a couple of seconds as it goes off the edge of the promontory, and then you just hear a crunch and go, my roof!
Has anybody got a men's spell? Because I don't.
The bag is absolutely besides itself, cackling. You can see it's rocking backwards and forwards. The straps are wiggling on it. It's
Right, Ireland.
absolutely beside itself.
I think it looks like you're going to be travelling with us from now on.
It's just cackling.
Right, I'm going to just hook the bag on my shoulder, and I'm going to turn around to the others and say, well, I can't imagine you carrying a bag because it will get in the way of you drawing a bowstring. And a paladin with a handbag, I can't really see that either. So do you want me to look after Orland?
Okay.
I'm not a handbag, I'm a haversack.
I'm sorry, Orland, you're a haversack.
Yeah, too right.
Oh, okay, so, how about we, go inside and maybe find some food? It
Yeah, that
does
sounds
seem
like-
as though the offer was extended to us.
That sounds like a good idea. Orland, I'm assuming that you actually don't need to eat and drink.
It's not a need per se, but you know, when he'd put his lunch in me, I might take a good couple of bites out of it just to spite the bastard. But
Right, okay.
no, I won't be munching through your rations or anything. I'm not that mean.
Right, okay then.
Yep, go inside.
So, we'll go inside. You with us, Cuin?
Yep.
Yep, cool.
After acquainting themselves with a couple of Cathars from Thraben, Esther introduced them to her grandson, Florent. An enthusiastic exchange of greetings bore a gift of goodwill for our team as they acquired a sentient satchel with sarcastic tendencies and a story to tell. A disgusted Orland revealed a dirty secret, and with lunchtime looming, Ogvar got in a bit of target practice by launching some lingerie.
Hi, Elora here. Although making this podcast is a total hoot, it still takes a massive amount of effort and time to produce them. If you feel that you can spare a few coins to buy the crew an ale and some rations to keep the creative juices flowing and support what we do, although perhaps not Rowan as he's still looking a little on the chunky side just now, we would be eternally grateful. As a podcast supporter, we would give you a super duper shout out on the next episode for your amazing generosity. Sorry, gotta run. Looks like Rowan has got himself into a bit of mischief again.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Having you as a listener means everything to us. So, whichever streaming service you choose to listen to us with, please give us a like, subscribe and follow. We would love for you to join us on our Facebook or Twitter page, where you can catch up with all of our latest news. While you're waiting for the next episode of Secrets of the Silver City, why not pop over to our website, where you can read all of the information about this campaign, from backstories to setting. All of the links are in the bio of this episode. Join us again next week for the next instalment. Thank you for listening.